And we are live. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to Dan-A-Plooza. My guest at this time is Pinup Miss Roro.
Hi.
Hello, Miss Roro. So, for those watching and future watching, Miss Roro is a pinup. Make sure to follow her on her social medias at Miss Roro on Facebook, at Miss Roro Pinup on Instagram and Twitter, her website, Miss Roro, and also make sure to follow the new website, which is www.vargasgirlspinup.com. And if you are in the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and you want to see some amazing pinup girls, make sure to stop over and say hello to Miss Mandy Frank and Miss Brittany Ammo at the World of Wheels in Pittsburgh, PA.
Yay.
So, Miss Roro,
Yeah.
welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, we're glad to have you. This is the first pinup we've had, so this is definitely a treat for all of the viewers of Dan-A-Plooza.
Oh, I'm
So,
truly honored.
thank you. So let's get into some questions, shall we?
Sure.
All right. So recently, I have noticed, and if my viewers could also notice, if you go to her website, missroro.com, you did a photo shoot. I kind of say a tribute to the King of Elvis back in 2022 in December.
Yes.
So I want to know, while you were doing that photo shoot, what was it like to be photographed and pay tribute to the King?
Well, it was very exciting for one. I love Elvis. Just the glamour and his music, the artistry, just everything about him is just so much fun. I'm sure. Well, I don't know. You may have seen the movie, so that tells a different story of what happened in his life, and it's just truly. He's one of the most exciting and he's just spontaneous and full of energy. And I really wish that there was still somebody in our current era that actually made music like that. So, and then to be able to kind of like get into the mood of, thinking about that and, wearing this lovely Elvis bowling shirt was kind of fun too. So just something fun to do. There's going to be a few more photo shoots coming up in the near future at different locations with some other Elvis props. So I'm looking forward to that as well.
So, with keeping the King in mind, I kind of want to know, what are some of your favorite Elvis songs?
Oh, one of my favorites is Suspicious Minds. And then another one that I love is Can't Help Falling in Love.
Mhm.
And just a fun fact, every Sunday at my house, Elvis plays on Alexa, and we sing, dance, and make breakfast to that. And then You're the Devil in Disguise is also another favorite of mine.
There you go. Those are some great ones. So, do these songs play during your shoot, or?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Can't really channel the king unless you're listening to him.
Exactly. You got to pick up your blue suede shoes.
That's right. That's right. We've got cardboard cutouts of the king and posters and all kinds of good things to use as props.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
Uh, do you have like a favorite Elvis movie or performance?
I'm a fan of Viva Las Vegas. That one's a
Hmm.
lot of fun. Yeah, lots of hip shaking going on in there.
Exactly. Oh, good times indeed. So, uh, and I know that you recently just took to doing pinup, but I was kind of curious, like, who are maybe some of your favorite classic pinup girls, such as like Betty Page? Like,
Mhm.
did you look to any of these classic pinups and influence you to make the leap into pinup?
Yeah, I mean, so Betty Page is one of the most iconic, obviously, and so is Marilyn Monroe. Both beautiful women and have shown the spotlight on what being a pinup model is and can be. But a couple of my favorites, I love Sophia Loren. Um,
Hmm.
and I wrote down one of the quotes, and it's one of my all time favorites. Um, she said that she would much rather eat pasta and drink wine than be a size zero. So that, I mean, I love pasta and wine, so I'm totally with her on that one. And then there's also an illustration pinup named Hilda, and she's a
Hmm.
little on the chunky side, and I like her a lot because the way that they portray her is always fun and sexy, and she's just voluptuous, it's just a lot of fun looking at those illustrations. And plus, I mean, she just like runs around half naked with daisies on her bits anyway. So
I never. I'd have to
you
look
gotta
that
check
up.
it out. She's really cool. Redhead with lots of curves.
Yeah. um. So, uh, with the way that the pandemic kind of like laid out, because a lot of people were impacted, uh,
Mhm.
especially within the art realm. Did this kind of lead to more time? Like, hey, this is something I want to do, and we're kind of isolated.
So I started doing pinup right before the pandemic started. One of my first competitions that I went to and I won was the Miss American Legion post 801. Um, I was drawn to the event um, just because of I mean I knew what a pinup was, but there was never really anything in the area at that time to showcase it. And so it really fascinated me. And I knew another person that was involved in it, and she allowed me to borrow some of her outfits. And I watched some YouTube videos on how to do my hair. And I went and I had a great time. And ever since then, it's just been, uh, I've been doing more and more and more and more. But once the pandemic started, then I could sit and focus on other initiatives and things that I would like to do and how to involve other people. Um, because we were kind of stuck. So, and was able
Hmm.
to do a little bit of research then as well.
Definitely. Well, I'm glad that you've had these amazing opportunities, and I hope that they continue to develop and flourish as we start 2023.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's a lot going on this year so far that we've got booked. I'm looking forward to it.
That's wonderful. So keep us updated so I could still
Yeah,
share it within the Dan-A-Plooza Facebook group page.
absolutely.
Um, so Um, I've also read this interesting fact. I always want to say like it's a Miss Roro fun fact. Um, so I know that you are the president and the co-instructor of the Mon Valley Rowing Club. Did you have a certain point in your time life where you had an interest in rowing and then you started pursuing?
So I became involved with the Mon Valley Rowing Club in 2019. I was asked to be a board member, and at that point, it was more about learning the sport and what all it involved and who we could get to coach it and come in and learn. And so it's not only for adults, but also for youth in the area. And it was
Okay.
targeted to um, specifically help the youth that don't necessarily have access to sports like that because it's considered to
Hmm.
be an elite sport. But we were able to offer it at a fairly reasonable rate for anyone that wanted to learn how to do it. So,
Well,
and
that's
then of course that was right before the pandemic. And when I started doing pinup, and I had to come up with a pinup name, and that's where I got Miss Roro from, because I love it so much. It's a great sport. I love being on the water. I love being in the outdoors, and so it just fits.
It does. It definitely does. I want to say it fits like a glove. Um, but for and especially for somebody like me, like I'm just starting to learn also to like get out into the water and everything like that. I did
Excellent.
a paddleboard last year
Oh
um,
wow!
in Mexico. I paddleboard in Mexico.
And how did you like that?
Oh my goodness. Well, at first it was just like it's trying to learn why everybody's watching you too, you know. So there's
Right.
that, but it was nice because like you had the nice breeze, you know, as you're like doing that, but like you're thinking, "Oh man, my hands they're definitely getting sore and everything, you know. I need the breeze to blow a little faster for me." You know?
Yeah,
But
you see pictures and videos of that, and some people make it look so easy, just depending on where they're at. But if there's just a little bit of wind and it's blowing in the wrong direction, you're working into the wind, and it's just too hard sometimes. I've actually seen people on the river paddleboarding and not actually move. was I was on the shore and saw them, and they stayed in the same place. But I mean, they were really working it too, but they weren't going anywhere.
Oh yeah, I saw some of that too. But yeah, that was when I went to Mexico last year, and then I think when I go to Branson this year, they're gonna have kayaking. So
Oh,
I'm
that's
gonna take.
fun. I like that too.
I've never done that. I just don't want to flip over. That's the only.
Just keep your balance. You'll be okay.
Yeah. um. So, uh, let's get back to another question. And I've read, and I think that this is a wonderful thing that you do. I know with some of your pinup work that some of the money's raised towards charities, and I think that's good to give back. Do you have certain charities that you support?
So the pinup group that I belong to, the Steel City Rockabellas, our primary charities are veteran based. So
Hmm.
each year we pick a charity from the southwestern Pennsylvania area to support throughout the year. So when we go to the car shows that are specifically a Steel City Rockabella event, we raise money at those. As far as donations, we sell T-shirts, and all that money then goes to that charity at the end of the year. So that's nice that we do that. And then I've also been part of other pinup contests, and we've raised money for underprivileged children for Christmas,
Aw,
which was really like that. That was something that I really enjoyed doing. We went out.
yeah.
It was for the Salvation Army. They do the angel tree.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't know who the child was, but I had a list of some of their requests that
Aw,
they wanted for Christmas, and it was nice to be able to go out and get those for them and make their Christmas more special.
definitely. The true Christmas spirit you had. So, so what's it like with doing these shows and then you meet all these amazing veterans? I imagine from different military branches like the Army, the Navy. What's it like talking to them after they see your show?
Yeah. It's very special, and it's very humbling. Um, a lot of the veterans that we meet at these shows come from the Vietnam War era. And
Mm,
as you know, they weren't all treated very well when they came home after the war. So it's nice to be able to see them and thank them and give back to them as well, and enjoy something that they like, and just kind of like, lift them up more, and so that they feel good about what they did. I still talk to a lot of different veterans from that particular era that, um, when you tell them thank you, I mean, they really, some of them still get tears in their eyes because it just means so much to them that they were able to fight for our country.
I think that that's really great. I know exactly from that era because my father was in Vietnam, so
Mhm. Yeah.
um, and it was definitely a difficult time. But um, so uh, with everything that you get, like I know with all the different costumes and with the performances, like do you go for a certain theme when you're doing these shows, or how does that all
Yeah.
come to?
Well, so I try not to do my hair the same way each time. It's usually different. I do that. And depending on the weather, depends on what I'm wearing. If it's a really hot, sweltery day, I'm not wearing black leather and my leather jacket. I'll wear a nice pretty 50s dress. But my favorite eras are the 40s and 50s, a little bit of the 60s, but mostly the 40s and 50s. I like the hairstyles then, the clothing. Everything's so feminine and just pretty, and it's nice to walk around like that.
Do you have like somebody that maybe and I was just thinking, of that time for or era that you kind of like or gravitate towards, be it if it's on television?
From the 40s and 50s. I mean,
Yes.
June Cleaver comes to mind. I'm a big fan of aprons, and I love to bake. So I've got a collection of those, and I wear those every once in a while, depending on what the contest is, just as an added accessory. So I always feel that I'm pulling the June Cleaver vibes out when I'm out there like that.
I think that's great because that's a great throwback, and I think do people recognize that?
Yeah, yeah, they do. They do.
Yeah.
There, it's. I mean, there's not that many vintage aprons around anymore. So um, when I go antiquing or out to different places and I see them, I pick them up so that I've got something unique that nobody else will have.
There you go. You gotta stand out. So,
That's
I,
right.
um, I gotta ask also with one of these this question because when I saw the picture, I was like, "There's no way I cannot ask about this." So, um, I gotta know, and I believe this is on your website also, but I want to talk about the what was it like working with the rustic tub and the
Oh,
horse in the picture.
that was so much fun. That was one of my favorite photo shoots. Um, that place is called Rocky Top Photo Op, and
Oh
it's
wow.
in this little town called Monongahela in southwestern Pennsylvania. And it's it's still a working farm. He's got cattle and horses and a raven and goats and all kinds of crazy animals. But he opens the farm up to different photographers, and they come in, and some of them will set up like the old pickup trucks and do family portraits and things like that. Um, but I went with my photographer and we looked at a lot of the props that he had and the layout of the property, and we noticed that he had an old bathtub, and I'm like, do you think you could get that up to the top of the hill and the field, cows under the tree? Yeah. So it worked out perfectly. And that was his horse and his dog, Snoopy, I think is his name. And he's trained to jump on anything. So the dog was sitting on top of the horse, and it was just a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
So you actually had to carry the tub from there to the top of the hill.
We didn't. He
Okay.
brought out the tractor and took it up
Okay.
there. Even had a barrel of water if we felt like using some water in there.
Oh wow. Oh wow. It seems like quite the shoot and quite the day.
It's a really cool place. I mean, you can spend an entire day there and not actually shoot with everything. We've gone
Oh,
back
wow.
twice now. There's an old fire truck, there's old barns, there's a huge American flag that you can shoot by. Again, the animals, there's old gas pumps, an old motorcycle. There's just so many neat little things that you can do. It's a lot of fun.
Definitely. So, definitely for those watching, make sure you check out those pictures on the website there. So, um, so what are your goals for 2023?
Oh wow. Let me get my list for that one.
Okay.
We've got a couple different photo shoots coming up. Um, the website that you mentioned in the beginning, the vargasgirlspinup.com,
Hmm.
that was created in part because I was asked to do a Vargas pinup shoot, which I'll be doing in the beginning of February.
Hmm.
But what that website is designed to do is to showcase and highlight what and who Vargas was, and a lot of the girls that I work with and do photo shoots and things with and for. It highlights them. Um, we're also looking at. Uh, Let me look at my notes. Sorry. Um, we want to be able to expand to different venues other than car shows, um, local, national, whatever, but on a more historic level. So one of the events that we'll be going to this summer is the Mid-Atlantic Museum World War II weekend, where all weekend long it's nothing but World War II reenactments.
Oh.
Huge, planes that used to be active during that time. The wardrobe. So it's like stepping back in time. So this particular group that we've created, we will be able to go to that event and just kind of walk around and get to talk to people and meet people, and we'll be the Vargas girls, uh, from back
Oh,
in that era.
wow.
Yeah.
Very, very cool.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, please let me know that and I'll
I
post
will.
it in our page. So,
I will.
and what city is that going to be in again?
That's in Reading, Pennsylvania,
Reading. Okay.
out east. One other thing that I've got on my calendar again this year, and I had done it last year, uh, changed the name and just a little bit of the format. We're calling it the Power of Pinup, and I can send you that information, and it's actually on
Okay.
my website now too. So what that is a day long event for women that have never experienced pinup and they want to. I show them how to do hair, makeup, what accessories they can use. We show them the clothing styles and how to dress for each particular era. Um, and then, as part of that as well, they get to get in front of a photographer and have some
Oh,
photos taken.
that's very
So
nice.
that's a program that I'm offering, and that's probably going to be in April sometime.
Oh, very cool. Yes, definitely let me know that. And I was just thinking of this question because I know when you do your shows, you have a lot of veterans, but do women come up to you and do they have any kind of reaction to seeing you as a pinup, and what does that mean to you?
Yeah. So people of all genders and ages and whatnot come up, and they're not used to seeing someone necessarily dressed the way we are at the
Yeah.
shows. Lipstick and hair really grabs them. The gentlemen tend to pay more attention to my nylons, right, my stockings, but they really like it. They like that. We're kind of holding on to a piece of history that not too many people remember or care to remember. So they think it's great. And then in talking to the women, it's well, you can do this too. It's not just for me or whoever else is with me, it's open to anybody to try it. And I encourage all women to try it, mostly because it's a huge confidence builder. Many of the girls that I've asked to try pinup have come into it really unsure of themselves, and we're just kind of down and not in a good place. Uh, I got them dressed up, did their hair, their makeup. They got this great outfit on and great shoes, and they come and they try the car shows and the pinup things, and they're hooked. They're hooked. You can't stop them now. They're the hottest thing walking around out there now. So it's such a huge confidence boost to people.
I think that that's truly amazing that you are kind of like it's like you're molding people, and you're giving them a new perspective into something that maybe they didn't even think was possible, and you're opening their eyes to a whole new world. So
Yeah,
uh,
I mean,
who,
it's something that it doesn't matter what your size, shape, age. It doesn't matter. You can do it, and that's there's just so much diversity in our group. If you met everybody, we all come from different backgrounds, do different things. Some of us have families, some of us don't, and it's just fun to get together and kind of play on this same ground.
definitely. So I think that that's really great, and I'm glad that it's working out really well. And it's just one of those stories that I feel like you're just going to keep going through it and telling different chapters.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. This is just the beginning.
Yeah. um, so, is there a certain costume that you like that you've used for your shoot so far?
So, most recently, I went to the Miss Tinseltown pinup contest, and that was right before Christmas, so it was kind of Christmassy themed. But the requirements of that contest was to come in just a regular pinup outfit, not holiday themed. So I had gotten this gorgeous blue dress, which was from the 40s. So I wore that. That's one of my favorites. I don't know. It highlights my hair, my eyes, my lipstick when I wear it. And it's just very pretty and feminine. And then the other dress that I wore for that contest was a vintage 50s dress. And it gave the June Cleaver vibe to it. So I changed my jewelry and everything, and had a cute little brooch and my apron, of course. And I also walked out with a book for Christmas the night before Christmas as a prop with
Aw.
some mistletoe. But yeah, those are probably my most favorite outfits to date. I've definitely come a long way from my first one to now.
Always changing and evolving. So,
Well, it's
uh,
like I said before, it's for all different sizes, so different dresses look, better or worse on depending on your size, and it is what you're comfortable in. A lot of women like the swing dresses with the fluff underneath, or the tight bodycon dresses. So it just depends what you like.
yep, whatever makes you happy.
Mhm.
So, as we wrap it up here on Dan-A-Plooza, is there anything you'd like to say or promote?
Oh, well, I want to thank you, first of all, for
Oh, thank
inviting me to do this. It's such a great opportunity. And like I said, I'm so honored to be the first pinup on your show.
Aw.
But I'd like to ask everybody to check out both of my websites, the MissRow.com and the VargasGirlsPinup.com. You're going to find probably the most up-to-date information on both of those. There's going to be more photographs, more things. The events that I'm going to be doing are also listed on both of those websites. I highlight some of it, not so much, on social media, um, as I have a day job and it's hard to do that all the time. So the website
Understood.
seems to be the easiest thing to keep everybody updated.
Yeah. So everyone, make sure to follow those websites. I want to thank my first pinup guest here on Dan-A-Plooza, Miss Roro. Everyone, keep watching Dan-A-Plooza. Next guest from the '80s, the Glow Wrestling, the Royal Hawaiian, April Home will be on next. Take care and have a good evening.